Joe Biden didn't just compromise with segregationists. He fought for their cause in schools. Experts say Joe Biden helped give America the language that is still used to oppose school integration today. Legislative and education history experts say police were on hand to provide protection to black students as they arrived at South Boston High School on Jan 8, 1975. June 25th, 2019. June 25, 2019. In a 1975 Senate hearing, the legendary civil rights lawyer Jack Greenberg had something to say to freshman Senate Joe Biden. Greenberg, longtime director of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, took Biden to task for sponsoring a bill that would limit the power of courts to order school desegregation with busing. It was a move that followed the wishes of many of Biden's white constituents in Delaware. The bill heaves a brick through the window of school integration, said Greenberg, one of the lawyers who had won the Brown v. Board of Education case that ended legal school segregation 21 years earlier. And according to Greenberg, Biden was the man with his hand on the brick. Biden's role in fighting student busing more than 4 decades ago has received renewed attention after the 76-year-old presidential candidate touted his ability to compromise with segregationists during his long Senate career. Biden said he disagreed strongly with these Southerners' views, but needed to work with them to get things done. Biden's comments set off a firestorm among his political rivals and some political analysts who described his language as offensive and anachronistic. But political experts and education policy researchers say Biden, a supporter of civil rights and other arenas, did not simply compromise with segregationists. He also led the charge on an issue that kept black students away from the classrooms of white students. His legislative work against school integration advanced a more palatable version of the separate but equal doctrine and undermined the nation's short-lived effort at educational equality. Legislative and education history experts say Biden, who I think has been good overall on civil rights, was a leader on anti-busing. Rucker Johnson, author of the book Children of the Dream, Why School Integration Works, said, a leader on giving America the language to oppose it despite it being the most effective means of school integration at that time. That, of course, is not how Biden sees it. On Saturday, Biden defended his work with segregationist senators. In an interview with the Reverend Al Sharpton on MSNBC, you got to deal with what's in front of you, and what was in front of you was a bunch of racists, and we had to defeat them. After this article was originally published, Biden's National Press Secretary Jamal Brown emailed a statement saying that Biden was never opposed to integration and in fact supported the concept. But he said Biden opposed Delaware's busing methods and included statements from black activists in Delaware who also oppose busing. In March, Biden's spokesman Bill Russo said the former vice president believes he was right to oppose busing. He never thought busing was the best way to integrate schools in Delaware, a position which most people now agree with, Russo told the Washington Post in March. As he said during those many years of debate, busing would not achieve equal opportunity. And it didn't. In 1975, Biden was representing a state where one of the first major urban school desegregation plans had been ordered by a court. Many white parents in the Wilmington area were angry. In response, Biden sponsored not just the bill limiting courts' power, but also an amendment to an appropriations bill that barred the federal government from withholding funding from schools that remained effectively segregated. The amendment went beyond the busing issue, affecting school systems that effectively separated students by race, whether or not they used busing. Co-sponsors included segregationist Sins, Jesse Helms, RNC, and Strom Thurmond, RSC. The amendment passed the Senate on a 50-43 vote, including majorities of both Democrats and Republicans. Biden was not alone among Northern Democrats who supported it. In that group, 14 supported the amendment and 26 opposed it, according to the Congressional Quarterly. When Biden rose to defend the amendment, he said that the assignment of schools and or classes because of a person's race is a counterproductive concept that is causing more harm to equal education than any benefit. Biden's anti-integration efforts didn't end in 1975. 2 years later, he co-authored a bill that barred federal courts from ordering busing plans unless courts found evidence of discriminatory intent. That legislation failed.